Chapter 6, Mishnah 5. The previous Mishnah discussed the law where a piece of corpse is found in the ceiling between two stories of a building. That is, in the boards that cover the bottom story or in the layer of plaster above those boards that forms the floor of the second story. Our Mishnah teaches the law where the corpse piece is between the beams that support the ceiling. If there is tuma between the support beams of a ceiling between two stories, and underneath the tuma is a layer of plaster as thin as a garlic peel, separating between it and the lower story, the law is as follows. If the place that contains the tuma has a tefach of space, everything becomes tame, i.e. both the upper story and the ground floor become tame. Since the piece of corpse is completely enclosed within the ceiling and there is a tefach of space surrounding it, the ceiling is considered a sealed grave. A sealed grave spreads tuma through ohel, the same as a corpse. Since the upper story is an ohel over the ceiling and the ceiling is an ohel over the ground floor, both stories become tame. But if there is no tefach of space in the place of the tuma, we consider the tuma to be blocked. That is, we consider the piece of corpse to be tuma retsutsa, cramped tuma, and the ceiling that contains it is not considered a sealed grave. Therefore, the tuma spreads only to the upper story, but not to the ground floor. It spreads to the upper story because tuma retsutsa spreads upward. It does not spread to the ground floor because the plaster layer under the support beams is an ohel, and it blocks the tuma from spreading past it. Until now, the Mishnah has discussed the law where there is a layer of plaster under the support beams. The Mishnah now teaches the law where there is no layer of plaster underneath. If the tuma was visible in the ground floor, that is, there was no layer of plaster under the support beams, and thus the corpse was exposed to the ground floor, the law is that both in this case and in that case, i.e. whether the piece of the corpse has a tefach of space or whether it does not have a tefach of space, the ground floor becomes tame, but not the upper story. Since there is nothing separating between the piece of corpse and the ground floor, the piece is considered to be in the ground floor. Therefore, the tuma spreads only to that floor.